between Brad Brett Cohen.
And then our match right here, and we're going to start on David Gleicher versus Rob Vaca.
Yes, 4-color control, 4-color reanimator.
Rob basically has the pretty standard 4-color reanimate. He has a couple spicy one-offs to actually reanimate. He means it on his reanimation. He has in addition to the 4 Angel of Serenity, he has a Gristlebrand and a Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Gristlebrand, now that is a card that we have not seen today.
Yeah,
at all.
That's going to do some work in this matchup because David Gleicher is playing what?
He's playing 4-color control, 4 of our favorite cards, Thragtusk, 2 Restoration Angel, only 2 Angel of Serenity, 1 Snapcaster Maids, 1 Sphinx Revelation, which is another card today we're seeing played, 1 of 2 ofs, but it's in there, 4 Terminus, 1 Supreme Verdict, 2 Dissipate, 4 Detention Spears, 4 Farseek's for his mana, 2 Think Twice, 2 Azara's Charm. He's playing 3 Planeswalkers main deck. He's playing Jace, Architect of Thought, Tamiyo the Moonsace, and Jace Memory Adept. And his sideboard's got some interesting spicy cards that we'll go over when we get to that point. David did mull to 6, so you know.
Just so you know, David has, he does not have much in the way. He is basically a Bant control deck. He has 1 black card and it's in his sideboard. So.
Okay, there's Think Twice.
And Grizzly Salvage in response from Rob. I actually know David Gleicher back in the day. For those of you that were IRC aficionados, back at the turn of the century, back before the Y2K bug ruined society.
Yes.
David Gleicher and I frequented the same channels. He is known as Grant the Fly, or GTF. So, good to see him still playing. Yeah, he's definitely an old school player.
Well, we're going to see Farseek here because he did not draw a land here.
Other thing, known about David, he's had some success on the Open Series. I know that I shared at least 1 top 8 with him back in Nashville. As the game progresses, you may have missed it, the Grizzly Salvage. You can see it better now. You saw Lingering Souls, and Unburial Rites, and a Crater Hoof Behemoth. So Rob's actually threatening a very, very quick kill, but Lingering Souls is going to start from Rob.
And Crater, he was the guy I saw earlier that had the 1 Crater Hoof Behemoth in his deck.
He does.
Definitely a card that when it comes into play, we just dropped a card on the floor.
I'm going to have to find some for. Hopefully no Cadaverous Blooms pop up in David's hand in the meantime.
Good thing about having this is that you have a judge right there at the table.
And making sure nothing's sketchy.
Yeah, because it could have well, you never know. And like I said, we just had an issue at the Pro Tour with a couple issues, I believe, at the Pro Tour so far with people being disqualified and things like that. And in a situation like this where, I mean, literally, top 8's on the line, to have something like that happen would be just crushing for David.
One thing to know is that both of these players have a draw, but so a draw is going to do them no good. We are going to need a winner to get a top 8 out of this match. Alright, so David has a Detention Sphere in his hand. Basically has to decide when he wants to, if he's going to pass the turn, allow Rob to get a Crater Hoof Behemoth in play.
Something small, like a Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Well, Crater Hoof Behemoth will deal 16 damage to David on this turn, and he can't keep killing 2 Lingering Souls tokens. He's going to run out of removal.
He does have a Detention Spear, at least, in his hand.
So if Rob decides to delay it, and play like another Lingering Souls, that'll be a very big win for David.
All right, let's see if he hits his 4th land here.
I'd be surprised if he did not have a 4th land. I would not have taken Thragtusk over land 4. I would imagine that Rob does have a 4th land because when it cast Grizzly Salvage, he instantly took. Yeah, there's a Vault to the Archangel in play. He's gonna go for it. Just knock David to, I believe it's 4. Critter Hook Behemoth is a 5/5. And when it comes to play, it gives +1/+1 for each other creature you have. So
he's gonna think twice here.
He's gonna cast 1, try and hit a Miracle Terminus instead of the one from his graveyard. So I'm gonna play. David has 4 Terminus in which he could actually draw there. However, he's so 8 + 4 + 4. That should be 4 life.
Okay.
We'll see. But even then, David's gotta play a Supreme Verdict on this turn. Else he's
well, that's a Detention Sphere.
Detention Sphere, yeah. So David's gonna fall to 2 on this next attack.
Leaking Lingering Souls to get more tokens out there if he so chooses to, but I don't think right now he's really worried about that. Swings in, knocks him to 2. And he'll pay the 2 life because he's at 18.
I'll go up to 23 with Thragtusk.
Thragtusk!
Yeah, that's a good friend from earlier in the...
Just casually pass his turn. Go. Well, he does have another Detention Sphere, but the problem is he has no answers for the Lingering Souls, or the Spirit tokens right now.
Or the Thragtusk, really. So.
Well, he could Detention Sphere the Thragtusk.
Yeah, that would make him take 5.
And he passes back.
He's going to try and think twice and hit a Miracle Terminus, I believe. That would be impressive.
Okay, he's looking at his graveyard. Just swing. Okay, here it is. And no. All right. Well, that was a very quick first game. Let's look at David's sideboard here real quick. He has Sundering Growth, a Rare Revelation, 1 Jace Memory Adept to go with the other one he has, 1 Garruk, 2 Purify the Grave, which would be important maybe to bring in, 4 Centaur Healers, 2 Deathrite Shamans.
Yeah, that's his only block card, basically.
Yeah.
He's a Bant Control deck. He has 1 Overgrown Tomb, which he can Farseek for, basically. And that's only if he wants to get sorceries out of Rob's yard.
Yeah, and he does have another Supreme Verdict in the sideboard, so he could
That says 2 negates, which can actually do a lot of work. But trading 1 for 1 is not going to win David this game. He's basically going to have to get things to a point where he can stick a Planeswalker, draw a bunch of extra cards, and get some, maybe like develop into a Terminus and just prevent Rob from cheating his guys into play. If Rob is able to cheat creatures into play, it's very bad for David.
Yeah.
But he definitely has 4 graveyard removal spells to stop that from happening. He's going to be on the green. He's more likely to be on the green plan of Deathrite Shaman.
Okay.
Than the black plan.
All right. So Rob has a Bonfire of the Dam.
Not happening. A Sever, Centaur Healer, 2 Deathrite Shamans of his own. Probably not happening. Not sure what his Restoration Angels are for, but he has 2 of those in the board to go with his 1 main. He has 2 Duress, which I would imagine are coming in.
Yeah.
If you have Duress, this is the type of matchup you want it in for sure. Azel's Conscripts, I don't see happening. An Ancient Grudge, 2 Oblivion Rings. A Golgari Charm is actually a very likely card to come in. Very versatile. It can basically counter a Supreme Verdict by regenerating all your creatures, or it can destroy a Detention Sphere, or maybe an Oblivion Ring.
Yeah. Well, he's got to think he's on that.
And then the last card that's definitely coming in is a Rare Revelation. Just 1 copy, but you can mill it relatively easy, and it's a very effective card from your graveyard. If you can mill a card and then have that card still be worth one of your opponent's cards, that's a big win for a Reanimator deck.
But for those of you just joining us, this is round 10 of 10, Star City Games Open Series in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Robert Martin, joined in the booth by Anna Prozac. We are seeing a win and in situation right here. These are currently the 9th and 10th seeds in there. They're both at 22, which means they have a draw involved there. They're playing to win to get in. We have another match that's going on between Brad Ear and Brett Cohen, and that is another situation of, well, winning in unless for some reason that match goes to a draw, where Brad could sneak in because Brad was the lowest of the tiebreakers at 24.
So Brett has 24, Brett has 22.
Yeah, and the other two, Rob and David.
Match here, both have 22.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a fourth person on 22 points. That's a one loss and one draw. That's Nick Edgel. And his tiebreakers are much worse, so even with a win, he's probably on the outside looking in.
Yeah, his tiebreakers are not very good at all.
However, last week we saw in the Legacy Open, somebody had a similar situation, but they jumped 4 percentage points on a person that thought they were drawing in very safely. And I would have definitely drawn in the 9th in. That guy, I forget the 9th place player, but the 9th place player, I would assume that most Magic players would draw in the 9th there.
He had the statistical numbers going with him on that.
Yeah, so. Just way ahead.
All right, well, they're shuffling up here, and I watched David's last match. He won his last match, I believe, 2-0. His opponent was playing really tough to say. Honestly, it didn't seem like anything I'd seen, so it's hard to say, to give it an exact deck title. It was 4-color something. It didn't have Reanimator. It wasn't Control. It was like 4-color dudes. And I don't think that's a correct statement for a deck name. So here we
looks
go.
like we're underway. Lands for both players. Basically, neither player looking to do terribly too much. Although Rob had his best start in one, so we have a mulch.
Now there is an old school mulch.
Yeah, I also use the Stronghold mulches.
Yeah.
So mulch gives Rob 2 lands and allows him to put an Angel of Serenity in their graveyard. So excellent mulching and salvaging for Rob this match so far.
Think Twice, which I believe drew a Terminus. Ouch.
That is a Terminus. Not the time you want to draw your miracle.
No, and I believe he has two.
Nobody's praising Jesus for that one.
No, he's got 2. He has 2 Thragtusk in his hand also. Okay, he will mulch again. There's Unburial Rights.
Alright, so bringing in... he has at least 1 Restoration Angel in his deck, but now he has Unburial Rights in his graveyard, so be full combo already for Rob.
Well, this could be a very quick win and in there for Rob. I mean, this could be huge for him. David, hopefully he'll have a negate in his hand. I'm not sure if he brought it in. Okay, he will think twice again to draw.
Can have
okay.
So I'm going Rob having to discard because his mulches were too good. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I hate when mulch gets me way too many lands. Okay, there's a Detention Spear. He's going to look over there, see the Unburial Rights, see the Angel. There's a Detention Spear, 2 Thragtusk, Terminus.
See, David has to decide if he has something along the lines of a Jace if he wants to play it, but he does not. He wants to play his Deathrite Shaman.
All right, so
just a turn too late for David, because Rob's definitely going to go for his Unburial Rights now. Okay, just kidding. He's going to go for Oblivion Ring on the Deathrite, on the Deathrite Shaman.
And it looks like he also has a Sever the Bloodline, maybe his own Thragtusk, I believe, if I'm not correct. All right, we'll see here. David's now up to 5 land. Thragtusk time but that now leaves him wide open. Even though he does have the detention spear in his hand.
Yeah, the value that David's going to get from, the value that Rob's going to get from his Angel Serenity. All right.
Okay.
So Thrag Tusk battles. Maybe wants more value.
All right,
The entire possible. Is that a Memory Adept?
yes, it is.
Wow, going for the relatively ambitious plan of milling you out.
Against someone who's playing Reanimator.
Yeah. Maybe he's just going to use it as a card drawing engine.
Okay.
That's the thing that sometimes happens where the +5 Jace is actually very underutilized for +1 draw card. +1 draw card is pretty impressive.
Anytime you get card advantage, it's a good thing. Second Thragtusk coming to the board here. Okay, that'll put David up to 30.
All right. I'm saying last match, if you like high life totals, this welcome to standard.
Well, Rob should let this go
Water's
through.
warm.
He should let this go through if he's going to play on Burial Rites and the Angel on that.
No, you should not let it go through
okay.
because his Angel can kill the Beast Token and
the
return
Beast Token. That's right. That's right. Okay, looks like he has a Faithless Looting in his hand.
Those two?
All right. Another Thragtusk. We are now 30-30 in land. And we are well on our way to seeing another Thragtusk played by David to take him up to 35 life. It's a good thing Thragtusk is not an effective card in Standard.
That seems reasonable.
Just amazing.
I was thinking about it first.
Well, he does have, I believe Rob had a Sever of the Bloodline in his hand.
David does not know that, or that it's in Rob's deck list. More than likely. So, also, getting a Thragtusk severed is not the end of the world.
Okay, he's going to tap 2. Okay, there's the 5 for Thragtusk.
Apparently, this is a test of endurance race. He can. All right.
Jace.
So we got Jace, Memory Adept instead.
Draw a card.
I believe that should tick up to 5. Yeah.
Okay, land, go.
If I'm not mistaken, the Jace should be at 5 counters. If you got.
Okay, we'll verify that for you in just a minute here. We'll have our crack staff check with the judge at the table to find out what's going on with that. Meanwhile, he does have enough mana now to cast Terminus. Still looking at his hand, still looking at the graveyard. It's thinking hard here. So really, with the ability of now David to have 2 types of removal here from Terminus and from Detention Sphere, so it really puts him in a good position here.
I mean, the problem is a lot of Rob's endgame kind of shrugs off the removal, but David can just keep actually coming with the Jace Memory Adept and just keep drawing cards, and actually he might be able to outpace an Angel Serenity here.
Okay, he is he's going to cast on Burial Rites from his hand.
Angel. He's going to remove both of David's creatures and put a Restoration Angel of his own. That still leaves David with a very important blocker. Even better for David, he's going to get to block the Thragtusk.
Yes.
His Jace is going to fall to... They're going to put it on 1, but I believe it should be 2.
And he's just verifying what's underneath there. He will pass and go.
Yeah, and so David's hardcast Terminus is going to clear the board. Dave's going to get back his Thragtusk, which is actually a pretty big mistake from Josh.
I believe that David just drew Angel of his own.
Oh, an Angel Serenity?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Okay, they're questioning where
they got it.
They got it right.
They went to.
Oh wait.
It might have been a lapsing thing. So we'll probably have a judge discussion. So basically, it's being brought to the player's attention right now.
Yes.
The fact that a misrepresentation of game state and a turn is passed might leave the Jace on leave it on the current number 1, which is incorrect because too much time has passed.
Yeah. To reset the game state on it might be a little difficult to do right now.
It's not difficult, but like it basically matters what's in the rulebook. There's a protocol for the situation.
Yeah.
A lot of times if so much time has passed, in this case a turn is probably too much time to recreate, or to rewind. Because a lot of times, like, granted, it doesn't matter, like, Rob's going to attack Jace with both of his creatures regardless, but in a different situation, the difference in loyalty might make Rob make different decisions.
Yes.
So there's just a policy to not let the game rewind, or not undo a mistake that happened multiple turns ago. Even if both players agree and it was on an honest mistake, the game is going to, exist as is. Without the extra loyalty on Jace.
Okay. Well, it looks like again he has Thragtusk, Angel Serenity, Detention Spear, another land, and Terminus.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't a card in his hand he can't play, which is.
He just has to pick which one. Just having a quick discussion. The floor judge that caught it. Okay, so we're going all the way back. The players are explaining it to the head judge, and the head judge is basically getting involved in making sure the right ruling is applied. And I will trust the head judge of any tournament over
you?
Over myself.
Okay. So you're not head judge. All right, no, that's fine. From the booth, we can play head judge, right?
I'd rather not.
Okay. Yeah.
David, you get a game loss, and Rob, you're gonna get DQ'd.
Well,
probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, we will make the next match. The next match we play come on real quick at that round.
Right.
All right, so
if David can, I believe his play is going to be Terminus here. He does need to continue to hit his land drops because his hand is so loaded. If he is able to play his spells, he's going to win this game, I believe.
Okay,
so we're taking up correctly this time. Draw Jace, mill a Jace, no big deal.
All right, so we will. That looks like Terminus.
That it does. This Terminus is actually excellent for David, not only because it clears the board, but it puts the Angel Serenity on the bottom of the deck.
Yes.
Which is much better for David than it being in the graveyard. So his Terminus is very effective that turn.
He does, but Rob does get the Restoration Angel back.
Right.
Looks like
Rob gets a Restoration Angel back. David gets his Thragtusk back.
Yeah, and it looks like Rob just drew another mulch, which gives him mulch, Restoration Angel, Sever the Bloodline, and maybe, I believe, a Thragtusk.
Yeah, so Rob has a Thragtusk in his hand as well. So what's actually going to turn out to be pretty awkward. This counter on Jace is actually going to prevent it from living through a Restoration Angel attack if that's the route that Rob decides to go. But looks like he's going to just on barrel rights a Thragtusk. Go to 33. So Passes the turn to David, who's likely going to play, you know, Thragtusker 5 of his own.
Well, he's got Farseek, and that will help his mana get up there to where he wants to go.
I actually think if David can continue to draw 1 for a couple turns, but start thinking about switching into aggro mode with the Jace and actually like just trying to like brave a couple turns. He might need to draw a Purify the Grave or another Terminus before he switches into aggressive mode, but he's definitely got the board stable, board clogged, got it exactly where he wants to be. So he's going to draw the Jack Random Memorial Alchemist Refuge came into David Gleicher's hand. And so if David wants to cast some spells with Flash, he can.
That's actually, I haven't seen that one played, but in this kind of deck where to be able to cast a creature on Flash to just put him off guard would be really nice. But look, he's going to play it. There's Thragtusk.
One thing he could do is Detention Sphere the Oblivion Ring, get back his
Shaman.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No.
That's the card that David needs to go aggro with his Jace.
Because now he can just start.
Now he can prevent. Now he can counter all the Unburial Rites.
Yeah.
He even has his Overgrown Tomb in play, so he's naturally drawn it. Didn't have to Farseek for it. We'll see. Faithless Looting from Rob. These Reanimator decks are bizarre.
What do you mean by bizarre?
They can't kill any of their opponent's cards. They get into these huge endless loops where the game lasts forever, yet they can't win or they can't lose. I feel like Rob can either win or lose this game. But it's going to take something absurd like a Jace Memory Adept milling his entire library. And,
well, and he's got Deathrite Shaman now to be able to take care of the things.
I definitely like
want.
David's position, given that he has some of these unique breakers in Deathrite Shaman, and the Jace is actually a pretty big breaker for him.
Okay, they trade.
I mean, surprised to see the trade, but I guess if Angel of Serenity is going to be the play. Yeah, that's an excellent trade for Rob. That's a much better restoration. Angel of Serenity for Rob.
Well, David can counter back with his own Angel of Serenity if he chooses to.
Mm-hmm. And I believe that's going to be David's play. Sure, he gives Rob a Thragtusk, but look at these life totals.
Yeah, and
Test of Endurance would just be the best card ever.
And we're already, now we said this before, we're already down to 25 minutes. And
yeah, last time this happened, we played a million turn game and it ended with 2 Rakdos returns.
Yes, it did.
So, but it also ended with 5 minutes left on the clock. So, and one thing to know is that neither of these players can afford a draw.
No. This is win and in only. So, okay, he's going to start the mill. Okay, we just got a correction of the time.
Okay, so in the blink of an eye, 5 minutes have elapsed.
Nope, there's an Unburial Rites.
We're time traveling. So Rob's got some Deathrite Shamans in his deck as well.
Yeah. Okay, but he does have
So interested to see what David's got up his sleeve. I believe it's just Angel of Serenity.
And now he can play it with Flash.
He can.
Because you know it's going to be tempting for Rob to come out there and use the Unburial Rites, even with a Thragtusk or something like that, just to think that, well, I can get the mana out of this. But let's see what he does.
Yeah, Rob has a Sever the Bloodline in his hand. Would definitely attack if I were Rob. Force David's hand.
Okay, there he's paying for the Flash part of it.
Yep, all his cards have Flash.
Okay.
And I might have just cast the Angel and cast the Farseek if I were David. instead of trying to get cute with his Alchemist Refuge. He has a Farseek as one of the 3 remaining cards in his hand.
Okay. Shaman goes back to his hand. Thragtusk back to Rob's.
David also is going to get a Thragtusk back in his hand as soon as this Angel goes away.
Well, he has to discard here. He's going to... Oh, no, he doesn't. Oh, he's...
We're having another discussion.
Now, this is...
I don't believe there's anything. I didn't see anything. David's putting a Thragtusk in his graveyard, but I don't think that was part of the Angel this turn. Rob had returned his Thragtusk under it. So hopefully we can figure out likely a judge call of some variety, or David just puts a Thragtusk in his hand. Not sure where that came from, but
the Angel. Okay, we'll figure out what's going on here in a minute. It seems like for now...
we're going to try and figure out what's going on here.
Looks like he's going to play Sever now.
Sever the Bloodline gets a Thragtusk back for David, and...
Thragtusk for Burial Rites, yes.
Okay. Apparently, according to the judge, the Thragtusk in David's graveyard should have been in his hand, and that's something we can rewind, apparently. So, that is what we will do.
Okay, well, he draws an island here. Looks like here comes another Thragtusk out in the field.
I could see... wonder what the library count for Rob is. Because if it's 20, David has this pretty locked up. But if it's not 20 or less, yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
22?
22, I believe. It's very difficult to count along. But 22 is very reasonable for David to wait out. Even if his Jace dies, he's going to get 2 mills out of it. That's 20. Leaves Rob with not a ton of draw steps. So if David plays 2 Thragtusks this turn, he should win this game. But both players need to pick up the pace.
Yeah, because even if David wins this...
Yeah, having like 10 minutes for game 2 or game 3 is not enough.
No, it's not going to happen.
Oh, jeez. So apparently he doesn't...
Detention Spear?
Yeah, so... I also would have liked to see, if he did have like 20... Even if he had something like 25, I would have liked to see a double mill. Or at least a mill, I'll draw and you mill 1. That actually matters. That would shorten the clock by a little bit. And you're not too worried about 1 card. And also with David, it's very difficult to switch roles on Jace's. That's why I think Jace is a little weak. It's very difficult to use +1 and 0 abilities in the same game and it be correct.
Well, you've got to make a commitment to it. Either you're going to mill them out or you're going to take the draw ability, and go from there.
Win with card advantage, or you're going to try and aggressively mill them out. Every once in a while, you can use a plus ability for a little bit and then switch to milling out, but once you go to mill, you're not going back.
Okay, that
Oh,
leads...
jeez. That is a Grizzly Salvage.
Burial Rites, Dreadbore, Faithless Looting.
That's Gristlebrand, Craterhoof Behemoth. So, Rob can take either the Behemoth or the Gristlebrand.
The Behemoth here, maybe? Because he's trying to roll through quickly?
Yeah, the problem is he has to... He wants to unbury rights the other one.
Okay. Well, Bristlebrand will be met with a detention spear.
Rob takes 2 from his temple garden, plummeting to 36. And I believe there should be Lingering Souls cast here first, but there may not be any.
No, that's an unburial rights.
Yeah, that's some bear rights. Going to Behemoth Town. Oh.
Drag Tusk. Going up to 41 life.
Okay, so Rob's playing his 4th and final unburial rights. Gonna get the Behemoth.
And that will swing for a lot. Except for he can flash in now.
He's got some things to flash in, that's for sure. I believe so. If you're correct about a detention sphere,
yes.
Alchemist Refuge is activated, so detention sphere, your Thragtusks, both of them. You'll get the beast, but they can't attack. Because Crater Hoof Behemoth does not give creatures haste.
No.
It just has haste. It gives the other creatures trample. And then the Thragtusk will be able to block the Crater Hoof Behemoth himself. So.
Okay, there it is.
2 Thragtusk down for David. He has to do that in that order because otherwise the Thragtusk would actually, on David's side, would actually get removed to his own detention sphere.
Okay.
And he doesn't want that.
No. All right, so Crater Hoof Behemoth hits for 8, which will take David down to a... Oh, he's going to go for Jace.
What the...
Okay.
Okay. and step Farseek. I'm very surprised by that from David. I feel like he couldn't have had more than 1 or 2 turns of milling with Jace to win this game. And if he plays Thragtusk, although I don't, maybe that's right. The trample from the Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Yes.
Would have been too much, and Jace was going to die regardless.
Okay, well, he can do some work here with that Shaman. He's looking at that. Really, it allows you to play cards.
It's kind of a little after the fact, simply because all the unburial rights are already gone.
Okay, we lose 1 Jace, bring in another. He will use its show and tell function. We can't see the 3 cards that went off the screen. Hopefully they'll move them back onto the screen. Okay, looks like a detention spear is going to the bottom. And one of the things about matches like this, when you have large graveyards and lots of creatures on the board, is that sometimes there isn't enough room on the camera, on the playmat, to be able to show them what's going on. So we do apologize for that.
Right, so I believe at least one of the cards David now has in his hand is a Jace Memory Adept.
Okay.
And that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for Rob. Because keep in mind that David's now on 40 life. So Test of Endurance is nearly online. But yeah, Rob actually has to kill, and David can just like play this, mill you 10, 5 mana, Glimpse the Unthinkable, gonna be good.
Right, yeah, he's gonna make a count
1, 2,
right now.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He's knowing
like,
he can survive
like
Jace.
12 to 13. Maybe not. I don't think he can survive a Jace. That might be an actual problem that Rob has.
Well, he can cast Grizzlebrand here.
Yeah, he's
or
Thragtusk, because you know what you need? More life. Oh, sweet. Oh, wow, that's actually like, that's pretty impressive, actually.
Angel.
Blink my Crater Hoof Behemoth. We want more power.
And swing away we will go.
Alright, so it looks like we're going to have a 10-10 Crater Hook Behemoth and two 8-8 Beasts, all trample. So that's actually going to do, it's 24 coming across.
Well, it's over half his life. I mean, you would have thought
Yeah,
David sitting here with that going, wow. I kind of think, I'm kind of glad he's ignoring the Jace. That he's not wanting to go after it because he went after the last one.
Yeah, the other interesting thing to think about in this situation is that Rob had, if David terminuses, that actually leaves some additional cards in play. So Zealous Conscripts removed from Rob's graveyard. That'll gain David 2 life. We're up to a still precarious 16, but Jace will be activated again. Sphinx's Revelation.
Land.
Does that actually kill David? Or kill Rob? I'm sorry. Because I believe is it target part? Can you target your opponent? Can we bring that up on the screen? Can you target your opponent with Sphinx's Revelation?
Well, if he can, then he plays the Jace and does the mill of the 10. And if he can survive the crackback...
Right, that might be a big if.
No, we'll see. I mean,
I believe he has another Thragtusk, so it's likely that David can, because you can survive all things with Thragtusk.
But yeah, it gives him the 5 life, but it only absorbs 3 of it. You know, so
yeah, another Restoration Angel might be lethal for Rob.
Okay. 6, 7. Oh, Revelation states you gain and you draw.
Okay, so you cannot target your opponent. So David is going to draw 4 and gain 4.
Thanks to our friend at Twitter writer1007, who is a follower of mine also, under the Beamy. Really knows his stuff. Thank you for that notification right away on that for us.
So David's 4 cards were all excellent. Nope. Don't want a main phase of Dissipate. You do want a main phase the Oblivion Ring, or the Oblivion Ring update, Detention Sphere. Yeah, no more Restoration Angel shenanigans for you. I'm going to keep open Dissipate mana so that I do not die. There's a Sever the Bloodline, some Faithless Lootings. That's pretty much it. All 4 Umbrero rights gone for Rob Vaca.
We're down to 5 minutes and 25 seconds and counting now. If Rob can just hang out here, literally,
yeah,
he can win 1-0.
Rob's actual best way to win 1-0 is to actually try and kill David and make David go into the tank. Okay. As to how to defend himself from losing. And I mean, Rob's definitely doing legitimate math. This is quite the board state, but Grizzly Salvage no longer live, in my opinion.
No.
Rob, I believe, still has an Angel in his hand. Yep, there it is.
So does he play that? Yeah, he's counting right now. He needs to really, really make sure that nothing happens there, because he's in a position where Jace can potentially take him out
with one
activation.
I actually think some of David's +1 mill myself actually kind of worked productive here.
Oh, we've talked about that before when he had the opportunity to
switch. He may have he felt like he needed an extra card really bad, but it definitely at least go mill your opponent for one.
And it's not like he has Reanimator in his hand to be able to help him.
Yes, Rob cannot reanimate any more things.
No.
His Umbrella rights are gone.
Now, it's a tough decision here. I mean, you know, he's really thinking about that Grizzly Savage. I mean, that would be that's loss right there because he's got Jace in his hand. Jace, boom, it's over. Oh,
I believe this is probably a little to the point where I would call a judge for stalling.
Yeah,
and or at least slow play.
Yeah, and what
I don't think it's super intentional, but it's
okay.
Definitely doesn't.
Grizzlebrand, is he going to do the 7? Pay 7 life to draw 7 cards.
He needs to tap a 4th black mana source. Let's see, 4, 2. There are 10 black sources in Rob's deck, and he's now the proud owner of 4 of them. So, Grizzlebrand hardcast.
He is going to draw the 7.
And I think he just lost this game, and I think we might
have a draw. And what an opportunity it could be for Nick Edgerly.
Assuming he won. This is like one of the weird, crazy scenarios where this is a final round draw.
Yeah.
That knocks both players out of top 8 is the only scenario where a two-loss player.
Yeah, we're talking. Rob has spent over 3+ minutes now doing this turn, and we just had a couple people here.
I don't think there was a deck he played throughout that whole period that did not have 4 vapor.
Stalling and slow play is a little bit different.
Slow play, maybe, yeah.
Zombies with vapor snack.
If it was possible, that'd be great.
Going for it. He's going for Deathrite Shaman.
Oh, I definitely remember a playtest video.
Okay, what does he want here?
Where JT had Treacherous Pit Dweller.
This is really aggressive. Ray of Revel. Oh.
Which will be met with a Dissipate. Oh.
Oh, I see what was going on.
And he scoops. So now it's 1-1, and at the minute and 36 seconds to go, I'm sure by now the judge has let him know how much time is left.
No, they don't. It's not the judge's responsibility. I've never had a table judge tell me, "Hey guys, there's 10 minutes left."
But now
the players can ask.
Players can request the judge to tell them that. Okay.
It is not the judge's responsibility. Yes. That is for sure.
Wow. Now, is there any way we can confirm that Nick has won his match? Because as of right now, if you're Nick, you win,
and these players end up in a draw.
Oh.
So that was actually okay. Rob was trying to win that game. Rob has a single copy of Ray of Revelation. He basically went all in, tried to mill himself. He had a ton of creatures in play. He went to 1 card in his library and found his Ray of Revelation, and he was going to flash it back on the Detention Sphere.
Yes.
The Detention Sphere is going to unlock his Crater Hoof Behemoth, which is going to be
way more than
lethal. However, David Gleicher had his Dissipate. I believe there are 2 copies of that, plus, just 2 copies of that. So he found one of the 2 off of his Sphinx's Revelation.
Yes.
And had just enough to cast it, and...
okay, they are going to end up going to turns.
I don't think either player knows. They might have an extension of some sort. No extensions, none for the judge calls.
Oh, they already used it? Okay, so no.
This
3, 2, 1.
Time, no. They should know that, the judge is letting him know that time is coming up.
Yeah, and both of them.
So both players have to be careful. This is like a very dicey situation in tournament play.
Yes.
Neither player wants to draw here.
No.
But they can talk about it, but they can't, you cannot offer your opponent anything.
No.
You cannot wink.
Yeah.
Do anything later. You can basically, the game will not begin.
Okay, so excellent.
I mean, it could begin, but neither player can kill the opponent in 3 turns.
No.
So basically what we're going to have is these players are going to sit there, discuss if one player wants to concede, but I think concession here is somewhat on the fishy side.
Yeah.
So
well, you can tell the judge is listening intently to both of them here because, like you said, if any shenanigans.
Any hint of shenanigans in this situation is
well, just sign the draw. Okay, I cannot tell.
Yeah.
What happened here? Did one of them concede?
We'll get.
Let's see. I cannot tell. Okay, well. I don't know.
Okay. David concedes to Rob. Rob's going to make like top 8. So depends on how you feel.
If you're Nick and he won,
yeah,
you're gonna be.
This is why you're not allowed to. This is why bribery is not legal, because